guys, it is absolutely boiling. So what I'm doing today is just chilling down with Yaz for a minute because Wolf's asleep. We've just been down to the park. But what I've got to do is do a couple of parameter checks on my water because I have been upping the feed massively. I think I'm on about 450 grams at the moment a day, and the pond's coping with it really well. Haven't had any ammonia spikes or anything, and the fish are all, well, they eat twice that volume going in. So I'm trying to pack as much body on as I can within the next two and a half weeks before we come off the feed ready for the national show. Unfortunately, the national show falls on my sister-in-law's wedding, doesn't it, Yasmin? So we are going to be...
You can't say when that is.
I can't say when that is, but they all know when the national is.
You're in trouble now, aren't you?
But anyway, I won't be attending the wedding because I'm committed to Koi. However, my heart goes out and my thoughts go out to the wedding, and I'm going to miss Yasmin there because she's going to look amazing in her little dress. She's a bridesmaid, bless her little cotton socks. So I'm sure she'll FaceTime me. But anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a couple of parameter checks. I'm going to fill up my auto feeder again. I am currently waiting for some Saki Pure White for the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to feed 50-50 with Saki Pure White and also growth on the fish. And then the fish are coming off for the last 5 days. A few potassium treatments just to strip off their mucus to make them look absolutely mint condition. Well, so we'll go from there. I'm currently sitting at 18 degrees now. My air source heat pump is working overtime trying to keep at 18 degrees in this heat because we're probably, what is it now, yeah? About 26, I reckon?
It's hot.
Sorry for swearing, but it is pretty hot here now.
But it's
So
20 here. It's 29 in Tunbridge Wells.
it's not 20 here. This is not 20
Yeah,
degrees, babe.
no, you're
That's
right.
wrong. But this
Yeah.
is about 26. Trust me, I'm an expert. I've fought in this weather time and time again.
That out in it. You usually can't do it.
No, I know. You just look so good. I want to sit by you. But anyway, I had a massive problem with the air source heat pump. It wouldn't go into chill mode. And we figured out what it was with the Crystal maintenance team. We got there in the end. So it was a loose wire, basically. So that's all fixed. And to be honest, that Crystal air source heat pump is doing a champion job at keeping the pond at 18 degrees, because I would have thought by now that pond would be 24 degrees every day of the week without that thing even switching on. So it's crazy, isn't it? You use loads of money in the winter to keep your fish warm, and then you use loads of money in the summer to keep the fish cool. Let's do some water parameter checks, because if the water's good, I'm going to up the feed again. Right then, what we're going to do first of all is every day I am putting in 100 grams. Oh God, these bloody caps. Anyway, I'm putting 100 grams of this stuff in every day. All the way up to the show. Don't know why. To be honest with you, it's probably a waste of money, but I've got it, so I'm going to use it. So sometimes I put it into the filter, but I do like walking past Mrs. Hadfield, to be honest. Any excuse. So straight into there. And then what we're going to do is weigh out 200 grams of this. Well, a full cup of that, and to see how much it is of my feed, because at the moment I'm feeding a cup, a handful, and all the auto feeder food. So I'm quite curious to see how much is in there. Right, so there we are. A full cup of that is 166 grams. Now, I've got quite a lot of sinking in there, which is a lot denser than the floating, okay? So it doesn't look too much, but if that was just pure floating, I'd probably have over half of that is sinking. So I'll probably have another half on top of that again. So it's quite a lot of food, plus a handful. So I'm gonna try to measure that as well, plus all the food from my auto feeder. So I'm getting, I think 350 grams, 450, 500. All right, okay, so we're on about 500 grams of food at the moment. So that's really exciting news, guys. We're on 500 grams of food, over 500 because it's 500 and a handful. Because in the morning I come in here, grab a handful, chuck it in, go to work, come back, and then I sort of give them a good feed over about 10 minutes, and they love it. But that's really good news that the pond can cope with at least 500 grams worth of food, which is that's a decent amount, to be honest. I don't know what percentage body-wise that would be of the koi I've got in there, but 500 grams of food a day is expensive, but it's also good for the body. And I tell you what it is getting hammered is the old Profi. Look at that, look at all the gunk and poop up there. So I'm gonna scoop all this out in a minute, and well, it stinks. I'm gonna scoop all that out in a minute, put it into a bucket, and put it all on my plants as fertilizer. So yeah, it is. Yeah, it is getting absolutely hammered. And what I can see is just underneath there is a little bit of waste. So I think one of these nozzles might need a little bit of a clean out. So that's what we're going to do in a minute. And so I'm going to give that drum a general clean out. We're just good because this is just clean. So you can tell by the feed I'm upping now, it really is starting to really get this drum to work hard. So what I'm also going to do now as well is I'm going to do an ammonia test. So I bought this from Perfect Aquatics. So I really hammered the ammonia test kit, so I didn't want to buy a whole full test kit because there's loads of stuff on there that you just don't use. And all I use realistically is the KH and this, and the nitrite, I guess, every now and again. But like that tells me everything I need to know. We're currently sitting at, well, temperature wise, that says 19, this says 18, and that says 18. So one of the probes is slightly off. I do believe that is at 18 degrees now. So what we're going to do now is give everything a bit of a clean. Just shit myself, Mrs. Hatfield. What do you want?
You want anything else in the car?
Yes, I'd love a Prosecco for my inner lady. It's well hot. Maybe too hot. Right, there we are. What we'll do is we'll give it a manual clean. One more. Goes the manual clean, and you clean half the drum. So you can see I've just cleaned this nozzle. I'm going to do it one more clean because I'm crazy. And I'm going to give it one more clean. And maybe one more clean. Lovely. So there we are. That's that done. Nice and clean. Pick up the rest of the scum now in there. And we are good to go. There we are then, guys. Bit of spit and polish, and this thing is lovely again. So that's lovely and clean again. Screen's really good. There was something, a little bit of chaff or whatever you call it in there. So that's out now. And I could tell it was because you can see like a dark streak all the way across where it's not, the jet's not actually hitting it. I've cleaned all this off. I've got some hydrogen peroxide on this quite probably now, actually. Get rid of that. Right, here we go. So I've fed that much to the fish now. We've just cleaned the filter, burnt myself with hydrogen peroxide, neutralised a bit of potassium, and got 10 ml of pond water. And we have got our dropper kit here, and I've also got a dropper kit for Dad. So I suppose everyone's done this before, surely, but I think these dropper kits are way worth buying. And I'll be honest with you, now trust me, I'm a guy who loves oh, by the way, I've had a haircut. My God. Come on. Just do something with it. I look younger, but I think I look uglier. But anyway, my wife still likes me. So what I've done is, I think, okay, so Hanna test kits, meters are good. They're expensive, they're really good. But I'll be honest with you, they're a little bit unpredictable and I don't think they're very reliable. I like the chlorine one and I like the KH one, but the more I use them, the more way crazy results I get from the same pond water on the same day. In the same hour, I can have massive swings, and I think literally, just don't waste your money, guys, and just buy those. For sure, that is £13 way better spent than £100 on a Hanna meter. They look nice. It's nice to have one, and I can say that until I'm blue in the face. But unless you learn it for yourself, you don't actually listen, do you? Do you know what I mean? It's a learning curve. Some people do need to learn the hard way. She just realised I smoked that. Mate, the evils I'm getting now is horrendous. But anyway, let's do this proper test kit. Here we are then, guys. So, all mixed up. Leave that there for 15 minutes. Hey. Well, actually, yeah, that's the Saito Kawaku. See the fish that just flicked there, flashed there? It's the Saito Kawaku down there. It's holding a lot of mucus. I had to give him a PP bath the other day because he had a few raised scales. Not very happy. Probably just a bit peed off with, you know, being held up in QT, coming back from Japan, doesn't understand the Welsh language. So he's taken a little, maybe that is my indicator fish, who knows? Maybe that's the one that sulks in the pond. I don't know, we'll see. But he's okay now. There's nothing wrong with him. I think he's just taken a while to get into life in the Hadfields pond. But we'll get there soon. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off the water, the air. And we'll have a little look at the fish, and I'm going to kind of go through in my own head what I'm going to take to the national show. Whether I'm correct or not is another thing, because Ryan will have the ultimate say of the array that I'll be taking. But I think I've got a good idea. Let's turn the air off. We're coming again, and that's going to be a 3. There's my mate, that yellow monkey is just an absolute scoffer. So the Tancho is still putting some weight on. I'm not sure if I like the Tancho or not. I'm thinking about, obviously it's a little bit thin at the moment because it needs to put some weight on. It's come back from Japan, the QT phase in Quality Nishnagoi and all that kind of stuff. But when I bought that fish a year ago, I was really into Tancho Kawaku. But now it's in my pond. I don't know, it's a bit too rigid, a little bit too formal, the pattern wise. I'm not too, I can't really decide if I like it or not. So I think I might offload that fish. And I don't know why, because it's a lovely fish. It's from the Sintro Koi From, and it's gorgeous. When I get some body back on that in the next couple of months, it is going to be an absolute jewel. But I think that might be going, I don't know. We've got another little fish in here, guys. See that little tiny Sankey right at the top there? I absolutely love it. It's struggling to settle in, and I got a funny feeling it's struggling to settle in because it is actually the smallest koi in the pond at the moment. So it's a small fish in a big pond, okay? But the Saroji pattern and body on it is lovely. So I'm hoping that is going to come into its own. And even if it stays quite small, I think that is going to be a fantastic show prospect. Possibly for next year, or who knows, maybe even for this year. We don't know yet. But yeah. Yamashino. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. What a lovely pattern. all the dams going to 45-degree. It is so well balanced. Trust me, guys, I'm an artist, and I know for a fact that when that thing is about 50 cm and above, it is going to look spectacular. I can see it. I know for a fact that that is going to be a real beautiful fish. So I'm going to hold on that one for sure. Slight tea stain in the water at the moment, but I am feeding 500 grams. So I think what I am definitely taking to, mate, look at that. Look how big Keith Holmes's Kawaku is getting. It's insane. I was hoping to put that in for baby champion this year, but it's probably almost in size 5 already. Exaggerating, but like it's quite big. But I think what I'm definitely taking is, I've got to measure the Yogenji Shiro down there. That always does really well. However, it does sulk. It does discolor. The Saroji does go quite creamy when it's in the vat and it's out of its happy place. The NND DK Shiro is definitely coming. It is absolutely looking fantastic. The body on it is power. Looks like the fuselage of a 747, trust me. And also the Deutsch Shiro there. Look at the Saroji on that, and it's very, very clean. That's going to come. That was in the smaller categories last year, like in size 1. I think it literally almost just got into like the 50, I think it was 15 cm last year. Because when I bought it, it was 12 cm, and I was frantically trying to put weight on it. But now, off the top of my head, that looks about 30 cm. Well, I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully it's 32 cm, because that would be lovely for the size categories. We've got the star of the pond, which is the Danichi Showa, right? Unfortunately, that has developed some weird calf pox. It looks like Wurzel Gummage's left cheek. It's got little bumps and nodules growing on it. Pardon?
Like your toe.
Like my toe. Yasmin, you go talk about my toes. I've had to give your feet PP baths quite a few times in the last week or two. She's a stinker. She smells good, but overall she's got a lot of fungus kicking around her.
Thanks, Lou.
Anyway, back to the fish. So my Hiyaturi, absolutely really nice specimen. That's the one I got from the Grow and Show, and I got it reasonably small. I can't get rid of it really, because even Ryan was like, yeah, don't get rid of that, pal. Now obviously for a dealer they want me, mate, if I had Ryan's way, this pond would be full of Ryan's fish, which it is, bar about 3, right? And obviously when I win stuff, it's good for exclusively koi, because they guide me on what I buy, and I win it, but ultimately they provide the fish. But even he admits, yeah, keep that, pal, it's not too bad. And that probably hurts his feelings. But anyway, it is a nice fish. The only problem is, I took it to a local show last year, and I couldn't keep it in the vat. It was literally just tail riding. It is, well, I don't know if it was the water down in the West Wales koi show, but it's quite clean. It's a nice clean. It's got a lovely body. It's about 53, 54 cm now, but unfortunately in the category, Hiya series and Shiryu series go together, and it ain't going to be nothing compared to that one. So unfortunately, yeah, that's the problem. Sometimes the colour of something makes it a lot better. And in this instance, white and black wins over red and black. So that won't be coming to a show, and I don't want it to sulk, because if I got there and it's just jumping out the vat, I can't take it home. And I don't want to stress it, but I don't want to get rid of it, because his name's Tony, right? And my son shoots Tony with his little air rifle. Water pistol, sorry. So he's called Tony Montana from Scarface. So you can't get rid of Tony, because I guess it's probably the closest thing to my son's pet in this pond he's got. But let's spin you around again. Right, what we got in here now then? So we've talked about the yellow monkey is fantastic, but there's no point taking that at the moment. The Showa, fantastic. There's no point taking that Danichi one. So we've got this Danichi Showa down here, okay, which is a 4 or 5 star Danichi Showa from Gary at Gatwick. It's male, and unfortunately, it's got the body of a sperm cell, but it's got the pattern of world champion. So I have that's something that I'm gonna have to wait on. It stop growing in length and start putting some body in. I'm not gonna get rid of that fish. That's my experimental fish. But check out that Kawaku there. Uh-oh. That is lovely. So the body on that, and the pattern on that, and the soft benny. The benny is so consistent all the way through. There it is there. Saroji is strong, slight gin. Lovely pet, it's flawless. That's kind of a flawless little fish there. So that's definitely coming with me. I think that's Hoshikin, if I'm not wrong. So this Sankey down here was a real good prospect this year. However, the Sumi has retracted back a little bit. Sashi and Kiwa on that is on point. Body is beautiful. Fins are fantastic. But, sorry about the glare, guys. But unfortunately, for some reason, this year, the Sumi is just gone a little bit too deep. And it's just not quite black enough. So, I don't know. We'll see about that. We've got the NMD Shiro there, Sankey there, sorry, which is a male. It's very nice. It's picture perfect. The Saroji's good. The belly plates are really good. Had a little problem with a bit of mucus on the head, but that's clearing up day by day. Within a week, that's going to be totally gone. But the Sumi is strong in that one. The Sumi is deep, and the Sumi is thick. And it's right on the surface, so that, and it's got loads of sumo Sumi as well, which is just on the white flanks, on the Saroji at the back, and it's a really nice fish. We've got this Sankey as well, which is another NMD one. That was my mud pond event, believe it or not. Best £500 I've ever spent, okay? So that's at a really good size as well for the show, so that's probably going to grace the vat. We've also got Uncle Takano's Sankey from the Takano event, and I want to take that one. Where is it? I want to take that one just for shits and giggles to show. There it is. Look at that. Sublime. Absolutely fantastic. Picture perfect Sankey, right? The body's coming on in that as well. In the last couple of weeks since it's been in the pond, it's a real good feeder. There it is down there. Right, so that's going to grace the vat for sure, unless something dramatic happens. What else is going? This Deutsch Goschki, very nice fish. £1 fish, that's going probably. So we've got my Shiro, my Tansho Showa down there, right? It's very, very nice. Body is strong, Saroji's good. Sumi is strong as well. It's got that Kage kind of pitted pattern. Motoguru is lovely in the pecs. The body is good. The Tancho spot is lovely. However, the only thing that's got is just on the Tancho spot there is a tiny Saroji spot, which is going to be cut through by the pattern forming on the memoir with the Sumi. Now, I believe the way these things are judged is body first and all that kind of stuff. So I think that small spot in the Tancho spot will be a very tiny demerit on the actual scorecard. So that's why this might go. Right, check out this, guys. Look at that Marathon Kawaku down there. That's one of my tozai that I've brought on. It ain't going nowhere. That's staying in my pond. It ain't the biggest of the growers. It's actually one of the smallest. But quality, look at the Saroji, look at the Benny, and look at that Tancho pattern. And that Tancho pattern is absolutely natural. There's nothing being near that. That is 100% natural, freak of nature, beautiful fish, right? So that's probably going to come with me as well. I have had some advice with a couple of the other, yeah, here they are, look, bit of a swim by. Some of the other tows I have got. But we'll see. That's an interesting one here, guys. So this is an Issa shower. I bought off the auctions with Ricky. Unfortunately, it was left outside in the cold weather. And the Benny suffered a little bit. But I'm not going to give up on that fish. I think once that Benny is conditioned again, I think the body... I think that's female, to be honest, and the body on it is lovely. The pattern is so traditional. There's a real lovely mix between the tricolour there with the Benny, the Saroji and the Sumi, absolutely dominating the fish all the way through from head to tail, and I think that is going to be a superstar in the future. It just needs a little bit of time. Hopefully it's got the Motoguru like right down in the knuckles. It's even got a little bit of odame at the back of the tail there, a bit of Saroji before the tail stopped. That's going to be good. So we've got the big Goshki down here, 66, 67 cm. But I think probably for this year, the Goshki hasn't got enough Sumi coming up to make that floating Benny really pop. But look at the Benny plate. The Benny plate on that, the first dance is a 3-step Goshki from Minima. Now Minima, if you don't know that farm, it's where most other excelling farms from that variety actually get their bloodlines from. And yeah, it's something special. Once that Sumi starts to block in and get really strong, hopefully the Benny will remain clean, and that is the definition of floating Benny. Look at that first dam. From the head to the back of that dam, literally is totally consistent. So that's a really good sign. What else have we got in here, guys? So here we are. We have got another superstar in the pond. Is this Hiroi or Koda? I can't remember. One or two. Hiroi or Koda. Kings of Ginnering. Higitsuri. That thing last year was 15 cm. It's probably about 40, I don't know, it's mid 40s to almost 50 I guess now. It sounds amazing that last year the biggest fish I had in here was like under 50 cm, and now I'm looking at these going, oh yeah, that's nearly 70. Look at that. Wow, I can't believe, like, mate, these things grow like 10 men in the right environment. So anyway, what I'm saying is I'm spoilt for choice. I've got a decent arsenal here. So this is the last year of competing in koi shows that I'm going to do on some of the smaller categories. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to have a koi boot sale. Yasmin, a koi boot sale. How good's that for terminology? You heard it here first. So what we're going to do is, at the end, after Newark, just before the winter season when everyone's pond's good, I'm going to get a couple of vats up here and I'm going to invite anyone that wants to come here. Yes? Anyone that wants to come here. So we might have 100 people here. She'll be out. She won't. She'll be here. She'll be giving knickknacks to everyone. But you'll be giving knickknacks to everyone. Snacks. Knickknacks, man. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offload everything I don't want. And I don't want them because they're crap. I don't want them because next year, through the winter, I really want to maximise. I want like 10 fish in here to really maximise and concentrate on the 10 cream de la creme. I think that means like the top of the top. It's going to be so hard getting rid of some. I can't get rid of... Oh man, it's going to be difficult. Anyway, let's have a look at this. I can't get rid of anyone. Bit of sinking food. Wait for it. Right, I've got to say guys, koi absolutely love sinking growth food. But what you've got to be is very careful, mate. It's a very dense food. It can put on body, on fish, super quick, sometimes too quick, okay? So you've got to be very careful. But the way I've gone about this is I've got like 50%, like I've got like 15 or 20 kilo of growth sinking, and then I've got like a load of wheat germ, a load of like balance, a load of colour, a load of like a load of bits and bobs, which reduces the effect of all of the growth, if you know what I mean. But you've got to use it, haven't you? I can't just chuck a 250 pound bag of food, so it's got to be kind of fed in with the fish. So, but it's doing a really good job. But you've got to really keep an eye on the water planters, guys, because one pellet is literally the equivalent of 2 floating, I would say. I'm no expert, but it's so dense compared to a floating pellet, i.e. it sinks, okay? But what that does is it provides a real, not just a surface column of water, but like a proper depth column of water, so your fish doesn't clash on each other. So I think if you guys only feed floating food, just get like a 2 kilogram bag of sinking growth and chuck that in and mix it all up with like a full bag of floating. Do you know what I mean? That's probably the ideal scenario, just to keep the fish from hammering above, because bigger fish do prefer to eat off the ground because they are from the carp family after all. Do you know what I mean? And like Tony Montana in there is an absolute beast of feeding. And sometimes he feeds upside down. I feel sorry for him, but like, you know, you've got to get the food somehow. So what we got here now is, this has been there for about 15-20 minutes and it is still yellow. I am so impressed. I'm so impressed with how my biological filter is working, my shower is working, and that drum is working. It is processing so much stuff. Right, so here we are then, guys. Last little bit. Bosh. They absolutely love it. Guys, I love those things. I feel like a scientist. I need a Bunsen burner in there. I might just get a Bunsen burner for fun. Hello, sleepy boy. Be careful where you're going. You just woke up, have you? Hey, you're on TV. Say hi, everyone. So this is Wolf when he's just had like an hour and a half kip. Wolf, come down here. Come and show everyone Tony. Come and hold my hand, boy. Where are you going? You're going to go and get your water gun. He's got the wake up blues. Everyone who is a parent knows that kind of, he's happy and then he's sad. But anyway, guys, yeah. Right, what Wolf has got is some little ducks to go fishing, haven't you, Wolf? Yeah. So we'll try it in the main pond, but then you might have to go to your swimming pool to do it, yeah? Yeah, so Wolf is fishing. Wolf is fishing for koi. Not ideal, Wolf, I'm not going to lie. So who am I to say that he can enjoy the pond as well? Go on, pal, get those ducks out. They're going to go to the skimmer. So that is proof that my skimmer works, guys. Let's put the ear back on. Go on then, get that ducky.
Yeah.
Hey! Guys, it is so hot today. It's been raining a little bit, but it's so close and humid, it's outrageous. But if you can see behind me, you probably can't see, but let me spin you around. But check out that. Can you see anything different in there? Well, I tell you what is different, guys, is I've got a net up. So what I've done is I've run a stainless steel piece of cable here, a stainless steel piece of cable up here, And what we've got is, yes, we've got a tiny gap, but nothing's going to get out of that. And what we've done is, I'm going to take this cover off for a little while because the pond is just overheating. The air source heat pump is really struggling keeping it down to 18. Well, it's not. It's keeping it down to 18 degrees, but it's on constantly. So what I'm going to do is take this off. So in the evenings, it's going to give the air source heat pump a bit of a break from really working to keep it cool. And what we've got here is a retractable net. Let me see. Take it off there. And it's on a little lump up there. I just come straight back. And there we are, guys. If I want to, I could just leave it back there. You can't see it. Get to the fish. You can't really even see that. You know what I mean? I might try to make it a little bit tighter, but it is pretty tight in there already. So, yeah, that's going to be the new little thing. So what I'm going to do now is try to get those rusty screws out, and I don't fancy my chances, but it serves me right for not using stainless steel ones. So let's see what happens. There we are then, guys. So we are now officially open to the elements. So like I said, this is my summer mode. Feels weird not having that roof on, but makes it a lot more accessible to enjoy. Big open frontage now, so it's feeling a lot more summery. I could take these side panels off, but for security reasons I'm just going to keep them on. The roof is going to be changed at some point this year, so the panels will definitely come off at one point, but they ain't going to come off yet. So yeah, let's well, I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. You know, actually what I could do is take off these two little strips here. These are the stops, so let's get those off. Yeah, really cool. There we are. So just taking off my little stops. Now there's another way I can do this. Up on the roof I have all the jump guards to complete this solely. And what I could do is take all of this off, just leave the roof structure on and put the jump guards on. So that's probably something I'll do in a week or so. I don't know, just this is a quick fix really to keep the fish clean and in, and nothing's gonna go awry there. Oh my word, so the water's starting to like tea green up a little bit since I've upped the feed, but not crazily. That Saito Kawako is still flashing like a good one, but can't find anything on it. It's just a bit sulky. So here's what it is. I suppose that's my indication fish, my indicator fish rather. But yeah, apart from that, all pretty good. All pretty good. Running like a charm. From an extremely sweaty Mr. Hadfield, I've actually got the week to myself. So the missus and Wolf's gone back down to Kent because Yasmin is taking her mother and her two sisters to go and watch Harry Styles tomorrow. Oh, I wish I was going. But anyway, I think next weekend I'm going to be up in Kent, so I think I might pop over to Coy Water Barn and have a little snoop around and see what's occurring at that end of the woods. So join me next week for a little walk around Coy Water Barn. Actually looking forward to it. Might get some pipe work ready for the new pond build. I'm not sure I need anything, but I'm sure I'll part with some kind of money.